Alright everyone, we are back for some more Death Note. We're gonna be watching episode 13 today. I don't know if I'm gonna be watching one episode or two episodes today because right now Death Note is kinda like between one episode or two episodes per week. But well, we shall see. I suppose depends on the episode and depends on whether or not I just want to watch another episode or not, to be honest with you. But anyways, more Death Note, more crazy shenanigans between Light L and now Misa, throwing into the mix and bringing in some interesting perspective and whatever. I got nothing else to say. I feel like Death Note so far has been pretty tame in terms of some of the messages that it's trying to convey. I feel like most of that stuff has already been delivered and has been explained and has been like thoroughly digested in like the first couple of episodes, which is like basically like the beginning parts of the story, right? Basically setting up the foundations and like setting up what the show is actually trying to be, and once all of those foundations are set, the story is freely to move forward with, you know, its plot and its character progressions without the need to like revert back to those statements that they have stated in the beginning. So at least for now, that's how I'm feeling it, right? The reason why I am doing two episodes reactions, you know, for Death Note is mainly because each episode, while they are great on their own, they're really good, don't get me wrong, but like I'm not really, you know, I'm not really discussing them all that much, and I feel like when I do want to discuss them, I immediately go, wait a minute, I've already discussed this in like an episode or two ago. There's no real reason for me to, you know, to go back and rehash some things that I've already mentioned, you know, like. But then again, that's also it also depends on, you know, my current state as well, and how much I'm actually enjoying the, you know, the episodes. If this is your first time watching, there's going to be two versions of this video. You're watching the full timer-based reaction on YouTube right now with the discussion at the end. So in this version on YouTube, all you have to do is just sync up your own copy of Death Note with the timer that is going to be provided, or alternatively, can't speak today. Alternatively, you can head on over to the description, where I am also providing you a full uncut, uncensored version where you can just watch the full episode with me without the need to like sync anything at all, because the episode is there with, you know, the full episode is there, you know. Just anyways, if you do enjoy the reaction, hit like and subscribe. And if you want to support me, you can head on over to Patreon, where you can also get early access to a bunch of other shows, including Death Note. And with that being said, I guess let's just watch the episode. Last episode we end with Misa and Light kind of being in the same place, but you know, the classic, they are in the same place but they're not really noticing each other because they don't know each other yet. A chance encounter in you know, in a sense. But I've also mentioned, like, in that instance, does Ryuk sense her? Like, does Ryuk know her presence, and can Ryuk also see her Shinigami? That remains to be seen, because we've only been seeing this through Light and Misa's perspective. So I guess I'm also interested in seeing how this episode is gonna go. Okay, so they skipped their encounter in the last episode. Okay, that's cool. Ryuki's laughing. That's a good question. Ah, also interesting angles there. Right. I also love Light's outfit. I know that's kind of like an odd thing to say, but I love his outfit. The red and black. A predicament, indeed. Oh, the irony. And that's what I love about this. And knowing L, he might get that other message. That's why they were focusing on Light in that shot before. Mm-hmm. Okay, Matsuda and Light. Interesting combination. Focusing on L again. I really like Matsuda. I hope nothing happens to him. L is really, really looking at at them. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Oh, okay. Now Matsuda has a secret. Um, Matsuda is now working secretly with L in this case. Interesting. Ah, hard to say. Mm. There it is. Even if he sees it, he's not gonna tell. So Ryuk knows Misa in that sense. That's basically confirmation about the previous episode. He's just keeping it a secret from Light at this point. How old is Matsuda, by the way? Obviously older than Light, but I'm suspecting in his like late 20s. No one could tell. Okay, yeah, that's why they have the group. Smart, smart. There's the wig. Great shot. Suki. I think they've mentioned about his name in the previous episode in previous episodes. Nice. Listening to the opening. That's right. He was talking about his name to Naomi. Oh, holy shit. But we know she's not gonna expose him. That's not her goal. Her goal is to actually meet him. So this is a ploy to make him come to her. Wow. L is like the only problem that L has, like L's greatest enemy right now is himself. Because L has a lot of doubts about his like judgment right now surrounding Light being Kira. It's like the evidence all points to him. But even L is like still disbelief in that regard. He's like there's no way that Light is Kira, right? You know what I mean? Like it's been like this for the past couple of episodes. Interesting music. Oh, oh shit. And because Light talked about the girlfriend, it all checks up. Shit. Holy shit. This is it, the meeting. Blocks out the light. Nice. In shadow. He touched it. Now he can actually see. Okay. And he's bringing her in. I guess it's safer that way. Your girlfriend is a goth girl? And now is Light going to give her the death note? I wouldn't assume so. Immediate change in demeanor. Immediately talks about the eye, okay. New to you? No. I feel like that's something that Ryu purposefully did not tell. Like, okay, got her eyes. No? Then whose is it? Okay, probably dead. Not dead, but could be dead. Will be dead. Whoa, putting so much trust on him. But it is kind of like a guarantee. Interesting. Trust. Also true. Just use you. Phrasing. I kind of want to go back to the previous episodes, like the beginning episodes, because I actually want to see like if there's any like criminals that Light killed that are like what she described. I'm probably not gonna do it right now. I'm probably gonna do it like after recording. Ooh, nice, nice shot. The embrace. Light's theme playing in the back. Mm. Oh wow. Show me her face as well. Damn it, they didn't show her face. I wanted to see her face. I wanted to see like how she is feeling right now. But that's the mystery. Shit. I mean, Light is just basically using other people for to further his means, right? we know none of Light's actions so far are genuine. You know, in response to other people, you know, towards L, towards his own father, and now towards Misa. We know none of them is actually um, genuine. But I kind of want to see her face there in that moment. I want to see, like, damn it. I'm gonna take a little break, and then I'm probably gonna watch the next episode, and then I'll probably do a discussion. Um, I'll discuss both episodes towards the end, so I'm not gonna be discussing this episode right now. I'm gonna be discussing it after I watch the next episode. I can kind of get a more, like, I can kind of better understand the significance of that shot in the opening, especially with the way how these two are, like, acting, quote unquote acting, right? I feel like Misa is genuine. That at least that's how I feel right now. She is crazy, but I feel like she is genuine in regards to, like, her feelings towards her, whereas Light is not. Mm, yeah. Great dynamic already. No, he doesn't. Oh wow. L is gung ho on this whole shit. Never in the exact same position. Wow. I love Ryuk's position. Like he's so calm about it. You know, like he's enjoying this. Yeah. Okay, he has a plan. Smart. Misa seems very obedient so far. I mean, she has to earn his trust. He sounds so like he's like, oh, that was great. Great reaction from L or Light. Excuse me. That's that's the plan, but I'd say it's tough for both of you to get near L, but it's going to be easy for L to get near both of you. Subtitle is a bit off. Oh, she doesn't like that. So she's a yandere. Gotcha. Mm, of only Kira. Oh, you couldn't care less, but you're obviously caring. Interesting. Already calling her Okasan? It presents a challenge. I kind of like it. If Misa does eventually die, my assumption right now is that Rem is going to die because turns out Rem actually has an affection on her. That's the only thing that I can think of right now. Oh, she is. Fair enough. Ryuk's laughing again. He knows something. Oh, ah, the other girls, right? Okay. I don't think she actually likes you, but Okay. So far, it's going exactly as he said. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Wow. Okay then. Yeah. We're not seeing his face. We're only seeing his actions. Whoa. That came out of nowhere. Sorry. Camera died there. Forming their friendship. And I still don't know if Elle is actually telling the truth. I think he is. I think he is. Speak of the devil. Don't hit a woman. Sorry. Camera keep dying. Somebody's there in in the background. Ah, the investigation is gonna get a little bit wonky there because Light is meeting girls, in a very close time. Affection. Affection, but not love. Hmm. Wow. There's some things that I want to talk about in the discussion, especially on how light is using people. Interesting shot there. It's not gonna be this easy. It's not gonna be this easy. I feel like the main takeaway for these two episodes is the fact that how manipulative and how basically controlling Light or Kira is when it comes to other people. I mean, we've basically seen his. I mean, he's pretty much a psychopath at this point, right? He's a crazy maniac with with a what's the term for it? A god complex, right? He sees himself as a god. He has a god complex. He thinks himself highly above others. He belittles a lot of people, and he pretty much disregards or again thinks very little of other people and their, I guess, intelligence. That's why in many cases in this show, whenever somebody outsmarts him or when someone basically shows any signs of like intelligence, right, he acts surprised as if he was never really expecting it. He's like, wait a minute, what? How does he figure this out? Wait, or oh, that's kind of smart. And especially when it comes to L, that's basically their dynamic so far, right? L going a few steps ahead of Light trying to go a few steps ahead of L, and then L basically going a further stepping, from that, and it's this back and forth fight going on between them that has both of them in straws with one another, right? But in regards to Light, as a person who loves to control people, the reason why he loves to control people is because he wants to be at the top, right? He wants to be number one. He wants to be that god. And when somebody tries to overthrow him, the first thing he does is, he does two things. Either he gets rid of them, or he wants to control them. That's his characteristics. Whenever somebody is trying to be one step ahead of him, when someone is actually stronger or better than him in some aspects, in some degrees, then he will resort to either, okay, is this person, can I use this person or not? Is this person of any value to me? If yes, then he is going to try to control them. He is going to try to take them and use their power for himself. Again, to make him more powerful, right? Or if the answer is no, then just use the Death Note and kill them off. They have no reason to live in this utopia, this world that he is planning on to create, as he proclaims in the first episode. And then we enter Misa. Misa is basically in the same category as Light. Before Misa, there's L, right? And with L, I mentioned L and Light are two sides of the same coin, right? They are on the same playing field in regards to like their intelligence, their intellect, and how they kind of basically how they do their job, right? How they would act and how they would execute their own plans, right? It's just that again, they are two sides of the same coin. One is the coin of justice, right? One is light, and then the other one is dark. But it's kind of ironic how the story kind of twists who is actually in the light and who is actually in the dark, right? And then we have Misa. Misa isn't necessarily part of the same coin. No. Misa is essentially a different coin, but she is the same face that Light is currently on right now. She's just a different coin, but she is taking the same position that Light is currently having. Misa is Light in a sense that she is also intelligent, as we kind of see in the previous episodes where she constructs this plan to lure the real Kira out, and how she would use these circumstances to actually kill people, and the fact that she doesn't really hold back and just use the eyes. I need that power. So in that regard, Misa is already higher than Light. You get what I'm saying, right? Misa essentially is already more powerful than Light in regards to her ability to actually see people and to know when they die. That is a power that Light does not yet obtain, but it is a power that he seeks, and Misa is the key. She also has the Death Note, she has a Shinigami, she knows more than Light in many aspects regarding the Shinigami and other parts of the Death Note, as far as I'm concerned. At least that's how the story and how the writing is portraying her. So again, going back to what I was saying, Misa is essentially a better version of Light. Light does not want that. No, Light wants to be higher than Misa. But knowing her abilities, he chose not to kill her. He chose not to kill her. He chose to use her. He chooses, nope. You are of importance. You have abilities that I don't. You complete me in a sense, and I'm going to use you. And we know how Light uses people. He's going to use people, and when those people are not of use to him anymore, he kills them. That's basically it. So when it comes to Light and people, it's essentially like I either kill you now or I'll kill you later. That's kind of what he did with Miss Naomi back in episode 6 and 7, right? Light used her, even just for a brief split second, even if it is just Light essentially trying to figure out her name, her actual name, right? But he is also using her, having this very short conversation to basically figure out, okay, what is your worth? Do I need you or do I not need you? And the more he knows about her, the more she reveals herself to him, the more Light figures out, yeah, no, you gotta go. You gotta go. And this shot right now, the one that you are seeing on the screen, is very indicative to what I'm saying. Light Light doesn't love her. She may love Light. Light does not love her. This is not a mutual love relationship whatsoever. Light is using her. He knows this. He is laughing about it. He is smiling about it. He feels like, yes, I have won to some degree. I have outsmarted, or I have the upper hand in general, right? That is basically what Light is feeling right now. He feels like he has the upper hand. The same way how well, not really, but in a similar sense to how Light figures out that how Light figures out who L really is, and that whole thing with L is just like a small victory, because yes, I get to meet L, I get to know L, I just don't know his actual name, and that is the one thing that is bugging him off and pissing him off, is because I've made it this far. Why can't I go any further than this? I've made it to the point of actually seeing L in person. Why can't I actually know his name? It makes him angry. It fuels him, because he doesn't want to work with L at that point anymore. No, that is done. Right? The whole point of working with L is to get his name, and so far he isn't getting his name, and he is getting more and more, essentially, again, pissed and angry at the fact that why cannot I get his name? And then enter Misa out of nowhere, this sort of key, this answer to his long question of how and what to do, right? So now Light feels that he has the upper hand. Unfortunately for him, this isn't just an ordinary girl. Misa is a girl, at least this is my observation of her character and how she is written so far into the story. Misa is a character, so far, is portrayed and presented in a way of someone who is an absolute fanatic, right? I was about to say a yandere, but we've only seen like a small part of that in this episode 14, when Light was talking about other girls, right? But I'll let that slide for a moment, because we need to see more of that side of her character, and whether or not that is just that is just a throwaway gag, or if that is actually her character. But if it is actually her character, then my points regarding her as someone that Light should not be taken lightly is strong, because Misa is both Light's answer and also Light's downfall if he doesn't play his cards right. That's the problem. Misa is a fanatic, right? And not just a fanatic, she is the fanatic. She loves Kira. And I would also assume that she loves Light as well, because again, Kira and Light, not technically the same characters, and in quotations, you know, you get what I'm saying, right? Kira is like Kira is essentially what the world, the public views Light, whereas Light is Light himself, right? There's the real, true, personal aspect of that character, which is Light, and then there's the character that is put for show, which is Kira. Misa only knows Light through Kira. Misa is obviously in love with Kira, not necessarily in love with Light. That is one of the points that I'm putting out right now. At least that's from my observations. She is in love with him, but he does not love her back. And that is when the problem arises. Kira, or Light, I'm just gonna use Kira now. Kira needs to play his cards right. One wrong move and you would betray Misa. Misa is not a person that you would want to betray. Why? Because she, again, is on the same playing field, if not more, than you. She has a Death Note, she has the eyes, and as far as I can tell, she is way more ruthless in regards to killing people. She doesn't give a shit about who she is killing. She just kills people at this point for fun. Whereas Kira, while his sense of judgment and sense of justice is kind of like blurred at this point, not what it used to be, but still, he still has some principles to uphold, right? Right now, Kira is playing his cards right. He has her note. He has her Death Note, right? He is basically keeping her in check. But we know that won't last forever. Again, we are just starting this new, I guess, new arc. I would say this new storyline that is going to be explored even further into the story. But if Kira doesn't play his cards right, again, I'm kind of repeating words at this point, but Misa could theoretically see, she could essentially see who Kira truly is. And she may not like that. Why? Because as I've said, she is a fanatic. Fanaticism is the fumbling it with my words here, sorry. Fanaticism is idolization of something, right? In this sense, Misa is idolizing Kira, and her vision, her view of Kira is her own ideal version, right? It's always the ideal version. It's always the best part of something or someone that you would want to idealize to basically justify why you are a fan of them, right? And I don't know how realistic Death Note is gonna take, but I'm just, I'm just applying some realistic scenarios. But a fanatic, when they get to meet and see their idolized person as their true selves, right? Without the mask, without the public perception, just them being themselves. Usually it does not go well. Usually the real deal is not who you want to meet. The real deal isn't your idealized idol. And then all of a sudden this fantasy world that you built upon them, where you praise them, where you would highly regard them, suddenly shatters and falls apart. And then you change from being a fanatic to a hater. You are in disbelief. Not saying that will or could, not saying that will happen on Death Note, but it could happen. Because as we all know, Kira he is the greatest liar in this entire show. He has been lying and lying and lying to basically everybody in the show. And right now, the only reason why Misa is working for Kira is because of love, right? As tropey and as cliched as that is, she wants to be with Kira because she loves Kira. And right now, Kira, quote-unquote, proclaims that he also loves her back, or not really, but he has shown affection to her, and that made her happy. And we as an audience know that is a lie. So it will be interesting, and it will be something to watch later on, to see whether or not Kira would uphold that that sentimental feeling towards her. Because I've seen that opening for like 100 times now. She does not look happy at all in that opening. Yeah. And speaking of affections, I guess the other thing that I do want to talk about is Rem. She is interesting because she is showing affection towards Misa, contrary to what she says previously, where she says she harbors no feelings whatsoever to her. The only reason why she is doing this is because of Rem is a female, correct? Or at least they're using the female pronouns she, her, right? I'm just gonna use it. So the only reason why Rem is, close to Misa is because, the fact that the Death Note that Misa is holding is a Death Note belonging to a personal friend of Rem, right? And she still proclaims, at that time, no, I don't have any affection to you, blah 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 blah. If I do have affection to you, then that means I like you, and if I like you, that means that I'm gonna die. And then this episode happens. She clearly has an affection to him, towards her. Even I mentioned this during the episode discussion of like the previous episodes. And I don't know, it's interesting. It's interesting because, like, okay, we established that you have an affection, but how much of that affection is love, and how much is that affection, like, what do you define affection? What is this affection that you are talking about? Like, what is it that makes you affected towards her? We know damn sure Ryuk is not doesn't have any affection towards Light at all. No, Ryuk is just there to have fun. He just wants to see the chaos ensues, and that's pretty much it. Rem, on the other hand, does not evoke that same feeling, that same aura whatsoever. So yeah, I don't really know what else to say other than the fact that, yeah, Rem is an interesting character. Her affection towards Misa is definitely an interesting part of the story so far, because it goes with, the whole lore and legend of the Shinigami, as you would say. And she is going, Rem is going so far as to obey Light's orders just to make Misa happy. Yeah, this is going to be like an interesting dynamic between 4 of these characters, right? These 4 groups of characters. Cannot wait to see how they're gonna go towards this. Interesting. And speaking of affection, I almost forgot about this. Speaking of affection, L, talking about Light being his one true friend. There's a recurring theme here in these 2 episodes. Affection. And you know what? At first, I was kind of unsure whether or not L is telling the truth or not. And I still am kind of unsure as well up to this point, but I'm going to say, like, and I'm using L's own terms here. I feel like 60% L is telling the truth. Because here's the reason why I think he is telling the truth. It's because he is so obsessed with the idea of Light not being Kira. It's not about trying to figure out if Light is Kira. No. It's about proving that Light isn't Kira. There's a difference. There's a difference between the 2. And I feel like L has slowly shifted towards the former that I've mentioned. Sorry, the latter that I mentioned, which is proving that Light isn't Kira. Because he doesn't want Light to be Kira. and that is a form of affection. You don't want the person that you have an affection on, whether it be your friend, your family, your lover, to be this killer, right? You don't want that. You don't want that reality. You don't want that to be an answer. And Elle so far has been going through multiple lengths into basically trying to prove that Light isn't Kira. Light himself is also trying to prove that he isn't Kira, but now I feel like Elle is also trying to basically proving himself, essentially. That is his own self-doubts, right? And right now, Elle is basically fighting himself. There's that part of him that believes that Light is Kira, and then there's also a part of him that doesn't want to believe that is the case. At least that's how I'm feeling. That's how I am perceiving the story right now. Interesting indeed. My throat is starting to hurt, and I feel like that is going to be the end of my discussion for episode 13 and 14. Hope you guys enjoyed the discussion. Hope you guys enjoyed the reaction, and if you do, hit the like and subscribe. Again, if you do want to support me, head on over to Patreon, where you can get early access to all of a bunch of other shows that I'm watching, including Death Note. You can get early access to the next episodes. And I guess with that being said, hope you guys have a lovely and wonderful and fantastic day, and I will see you all next week for the next episode, Death Note. Take care, guys.